Move it a bit closer. There we go. This is my third attempt at recording the prologue. The first two attempts went nowhere, and I have a feeling I know why. I think it was because the recordings went over an hour and they didn't export properly. So I'm going to do it as sort of a 30 minutes at a time piece. Break it up into 5 sections and release them over the course of the day. Sort of like the prologue to sort of like the first first few episodes of Transformers Prime. It was split to a 5-part starter. Anyway, so yeah, they will release I think every 2 or so hours, I want to say. But that is yet to be seen, and depends on how fast I get this one up. Oh, wait. I hate that I can't actually enter the flowchart from the main menu. That's not where we need to be. This is where we need to be. Sorry about that. The tip of the spear was like a flash of lightning. A spear had thrust to skewer the heart. Even attempting to evade it was pointless. It was but a flash too swift for the human eye to follow. And yet, moonlight swept in to save me from a strike that threatened to end me. The sound was beautiful, like the tolling of a bell. Now, truth be told, the sound hung over me heavier than an iron weight. This beauty had little to do with aesthetics. The stark armor wrapped around it was like the frozen night itself. The ringing was not in itself pleasant. It was the sound of steel, but the night herself was beautiful enough to make it into the chiming of a bell.
とう、あなたが私のマスターか。
A voice resonated in the darkness.
召喚に従い参上した。これより我が剣はあなたと共にあり、あなたの運命は私と共にある。ここに契約は完了した。
Indeed, the pact was sealed just as she chose to send me, and I'm sure in that moment I swore to say that. Moonlight cut through the darkness as if in imitation of the night. The storehouse regained its former calm. Time had stopped. The vision before me had lasted less than a second. Be that as it may, I always remember the sight of her as clearly as if it were still happening now, even if I fall into the depths of hell. The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eye. For a moment, time stopped, and a silhouette traveled draped in blue, swayed in the wind. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as golden thread, was bathed in moonlight. I'm actually going to do something real quick, which is I'm going to turn the game audio down a bit, and then turn mine up. So, I mean, I could probably stand to speak a bit more clearly and all that, but, ooh. I have a feeling that just entered the video, but that's okay. This happened 10 years ago. I see someone who takes me back. He's tall, with chiseled features. I've never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. No, that's not what this is. It's more like he's grasping my head, working it like a stubborn jaw lid. Maybe he doesn't know how to control his strength. Why? Okay, hang on. I'm adjusting audio settings because they reset after I canceled them out. So, I was trying to do something else. Sorry. That's only to be expected. It's the first time he's ever done something like this. It's time for me to leave. You know what to do next. I answered yes in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand and stood up. That's all. Had I known this would be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh with the perfect I've been practicing punchlines in private in hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. If I have one regret, I never got to tell him any of my jokes. Get that association in your debt before we become adults. Any decisions after that, I leave up to you. I'm sure you'll manage on your own. So he said, but I bet he was right about me. He told me about our family's heirloom jewels and gems passed down to us from our grandmaster and how to manage the underground workshop. It was a rapid-fire course of subjects he'd never taught me before. Even as a child, I realized that he would probably never come home again. That was a war. Not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war, there were only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, but having mages involved changes everything. 7 mages from different factions competed. I'm sorry, hang on. Settings. Oh, that's okay. Audio. Okay. Now that is working. Maybe I just up the gain a little. We'll bring you back down to there. Alright. Hopefully it works now. Oh yeah, that's much better. But maybe I could also config, sorry. Bring the sound settings back up to where they... No, there... No. You, probably. I love that Z is the confirm button. Alright. Anyway, back to the thing. 7 mages from different factions competed, but I wasn't sure why. They kill each other using methods I didn't really understand. One of them was the man in front of me. It meant that he would kill and eventually be killed. I'm sure he felt the ticking of his life's clock even more keenly than I did. Rin, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tohsakas to obtain it, but above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And with that, he ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. My father/teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came home.
いってらっしゃいませ、お父様。
I bid him farewell as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears, but I didn't let them show. I loved him. He was a great father and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people. As far as I know, there wasn't a more upstanding man in the whole world. As my instructor, he trained me, and as my father, he loved me. So I decided I'd accept the things he left for me and choose my own path. And before long, the Holy Grail appeared. It's the duty of the Tohsakas to obtain it, but above all, it is the path great destined to walk as mages. In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not a father, and that's the moment I made up my mind.
よし、それじゃあ一つ気合い入れて一人前になりますか。
It is only natural for an apprentice to live up to the master, to a master's hopes, and that is how I, Tohsaka Rin, grew up after experiencing life's twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I would say I've been looking forward to this day, but I am a bit on edge. That goes without saying. After all, the moment which was burned into my memory 10 years ago will soon be upon me again. If you're wondering why the text is green, it's because I already played through this, as this is again my 3rd attempt at recording this. It is now January 31st. I hear something. Ring. Ring, ring.
うるさい。止まれ。
The noise doesn't stop. It's such an infernal racket. It's almost as if it's here to avenge my father.
何よもう。昨日は遅くまでやってたんだから。もうちょっと。
I wish it had just let me sleep a bit more. In fact, it should. I stayed up into the early hours deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magical energy to do it, in totally exhausted body and mind.
気がつも聞かないやつ。
Ring, 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 ring. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. What kind of machine makes a noise? It seems like its sole purpose is to remind you that you're late.
遅刻はまずい。
True, but there's a time and a place for everything. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it on school in time, at least for today, if only slightly.
そうそう。あらかじめ30分ずらして目覚ましをセットしたんだから。あと30分は眠れるはず。
The Doesn't that sound off?
30分ずらして
I peer at the alarm clock through sleep-heavy eyelids. Hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I've completely used up my safety margin. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? I glare at the alarm clock. For several seconds, I shut off the alarm clock and climb sluggishly out of bed. The morning chill bites me as I cross the hallway and enter the parlor. This is the final 7 a.m. in January. Winters in Fuyuki are relatively warm, but the mornings here are as cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath is white. It's not much colder without anyone else living here.
暖房暖房
I turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like these. If there was someone else here to wake up before me, then the parlor would have already been heated. I wash my face in the sink. I run a brush through my long hair and get dressed. A chilly morning in a bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold water mercilessly beats the sleepiness from me. With a final tug of the ribbon at my collar, I finish getting dressed. All that's left is to have breakfast and go to school. The clock reads just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic.
なんだこれなら走っていく必要もないか
Of course, I never do anything so uncouth as sprinting to school. The Tohsaka family motto dictates that we conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. My ancestors must have been some high and mighty aristocrats. Is that what we've taught through the generations? The anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Tohsakas are a line of spell weavers who practice what is known as magecraft. We're not just an ordinary family, we have an admirably storied history.
まあその自慢できることでもないんだけど
In fact, I literally can't talk about it. The truth is, I'm a maid. Who can I even brag about that to? As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. It sounds like some supernatural woo-woo, and if you'd like to think of it as just wiggling your feet and say, Abracadabra. No, I can't do that. Steve Miller, no. That's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. Alright, God. That said, we don't fly around on broomsticks. Pretty good. We don't shoot stars out of our wands either. We can do things like that, but there's no point, so we don't. But it's cool though. We're pretty much heretics for like this as a society. I don't even. We're not allowed to draw attention to ourselves, and anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would rather spend it on their research. Ordinary humans might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there are only 5 magicians in the whole world. Magicians are what we would call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles. Similarly, magic is the label we use for mystics, magical mysteries that can't be realized without any amount of time or skill. While magecraft, though, it looks mysterious as something anyone can do with enough time and resources. I'm a mage, and the kind of mystics I use are merely magecraft and not true magic. Confusing, I know, but that's how it works. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages. We believe in study things that can't be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. Above all, there is no point to any of what we do. You'd be so much happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying magecraft. Human technology has accomplished great things. For the last few centuries, magecraft has been playing catch-up to the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Miracles that could only be realized with magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances. Even so, magecraft does have its benefits, just as there are some things that only science can accomplish. There remain heights only mystics can reach. If science is racing into the future, then mages are racing into the past. I think the Tohsaka Grandmaster said that. Whether you're heading into the past or the future, your destination is the same, 0 or something like that. I don't like that, and it's not great. Why 0? I mean, to be fair, entropy. We can shelve the difficult topics now. Philosophy is for the elderly. The very, very elderly. I finished my breakfast and picked up my bag.
そうだ、ペンダント持っていかないと。
I'm reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it would be a waste of time to leave it behind.
何しろ100年ものの石だものね。うちにある宝石の中じゃダントツで最強だし。
One could even say it's on an entirely different level. I tamed the gem after decoding my father's will last night and imbued with 10 years worth of my own magical energy. I've been told that the Tohsaka family has heirloom jewels passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. Tohsaka mages specialize in the conversion and flow of power. We channel our magical energy into precious gems whenever we have a spare moment. Simply put, I'm the gun and the jewels are the bullets. The other main thing I've inherited from my father is the magical crest engraved into my left arm. A magic crest is proof that I'm the heir to our lineage. It's like all of the techniques that Tohsaka condensed into a tattoo.
まだ始まったわけじゃないけど、用心に越したことはないか。
For now, I stow my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket.
切り札だものね。これに秘められた魔力ならできないことはないぐらいなんだし。
It's 7:30. I better leave soon if I don't want to be late for school.
Reason for your fallen dry.
I weave energy into a brief foreign phase. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my home base. That still applies even if I've never had so much as a single burglar, lost child, or stray cats wander into my home. Actually, I don't think the neighbors have even come over to say hello.
別にいいけどね。野良猫でさえ入ってこないってどういうことよ。
I look up at the mansion that's been my home for over a decade. Fuyuki is a strange city. On one side of the intersection dividing the residential areas is filled with old samurai estates, while the side I'm on has an abundance of mansions built in European style. Apparently the whole bunch of foreign families immigrated here long ago, but I've never seen a single foreigner around. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, the new part of the city across the river, but it was built for the generation that immigrated here.
日本の土が合わなかったのかな。
I make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia. Apparently, no.
日本の土が合わなかったのかな。
If not full of boring trivia for sure.
あれ？
Something feels off as I step across
なん
the
だ
street.
ろう。思ったより静かなんですけど。
There's no trace of the typical morning bustle. At 7:30 in the morning, there would normally be students and workers on their daily
まあ
commute.
こういう日もあるか。
Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so maybe everyone must be snuggled up in bed.
けどさすがに。
Even if that were true, it's strange that there isn't a single student on the street. At this time of day, you'd expect to at least see a school uniform or two, and yet from where I'm standing at the school gate, it looks like morning club activities are just starting up, which can only mean...
あれ、遠坂？
やっぱりそうきたか。
With a light sigh, I turned to face the student who called out to me.
おはよう。今日も寒いね、こりゃ。
The girl who addresses me so casually is Mitsuzuri Ayaka. She's my classmate too and has quite the history.
おはよう三つさん。つかのことを聞くけど、今何時だかわかる？
ん？
It
何時
sounded
って7時前じゃない。遠坂寝ぼけてる？
She waves her hand in front of my face as if to ask if anybody's home. Ayako is one of my few friends, and she knows I'm not a morning person. She's probably figured it out by now that I'm still not completely with
う
it.
ちの時計1時間早かったみたい。しかも軒並み。目覚まし時計はおろか、柱時計まできっかり早まってた。
What's going on here? My father must have set the clocks early to go haywire once I took the pendant out of the underground cellar.
遠坂？
気にしないで。別に大したことじゃないから。それより三つさんは今日も朝練？
ええ。弓道部は問題児も多いし、うまいのが一人減ったからね。4月の新入生か。
そう。気苦労が絶えないのね、相変わらず。
他人事だからって言ってくれるわ。あ、ついでだから見ていく？遠坂が見学する分には男どもも喜ぶ。
弓道部か。
I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Ayaka, the girl I'm talking to now. I barely even speak to the other 2.
そう。 気苦労が絶えないのね、相変わらず。
他人事だからって言ってくれるわ。あ、ついでだから見ていく？登坂が見学する分には男どもも喜ぶけど。
弓道部か。
Of those latter two, there's one I actually can't explain away as simply an acquaintance. I became friends with Ayaka, the club captain, because I've been watching the club from afar.
そうね。様子を見るだけなら付き合うわ。早く来すぎたからやることもないし。
よし、じゃあ善は急げ。早速行こう。
One of our school's trademarks is well-equipped archery range. The chair of the school board has a passion for kyudo, traditional Japanese archery, so they built a magnificent range on campus. It's kind of a waste for a high school club, to be honest.
ほらほら、まだ開始まで時間があるし、中でお茶しようぜ、登坂。
Ayaka tugs on my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, her brusque way of speaking is a bad habit. As Ayaka said, there's no one else at the range. We sip Japanese tea that's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepare ahead for the day's classes. The hot drink is delicious in the quiet, wintry archery range.
さて、単刀直入に聞くけど、そっちの調子はどうなのよ、登坂。いい加減頼りになる相棒は見つかった？
And she uses the occasion to ask me something completely ridiculous.
ほんと、いきなり本題に入るのね、あなたは。その言いぶりだと、そっちはもう見つけたんだ。
ノーコメント。登坂が手を沸かすまではこっちも秘密さ。で、どうなのよ。その疲れた顔を見ると脈ありって感じだけど。
こっちもノーコメント。あなたに隠してもどうせ見抜かれるか。残念ながらこっちはまだよ。綾子の方はお互いのんびりしてる余裕はないはずだけど。
そうなんだけど、私も雲行きは怪しいわ。とりあえず取り繕うことはできるけど、ことがことでしょ。この先の命運がかかってるんだから妥協するわけにもいかないし。
勝手に決めて私に負けるのも嫌？
もちろん。私にとって重要なのはあんたを任すことだもの。何が手に入るとか何を手に入れるとかは二の次よ。
She chuckles confidently.
似た者同士ね、私たち。
ええ、初めて会った時に言ったでしょ。あんたとはそういう関係にあるんだって。
She didn't, shouldn't she? Kill or be killed, I'm sure that's all it'll be between the two of us. I was truly surprised to have someone say that right off the bat. Translation, our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows. Like Sonic and Shadow, or Sonic and Knuckles. That's what Ayaka's getting at. I agree with her. The 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis.
ところでさ、私たちなんでこんな話してるんだっけ？
なんでって言い出したのは登坂でしょ。あんたがいつまでも彼氏がいないのは女としてどうよなんてこぼすもんだから。なら3年になる前にどっちが先に男作るかって勝負になったんじゃない。
ああ、そうだった。売り言葉に買い言葉ってやつだった。で、遅れを。
ええ、今時子供でも交わさない約束だけど、あんたと私に限って往生際が悪いってことはないでしょ。どんな結果になろうと負けた方はおとなしく勝者に従うことになる。それを思うと私は今から楽しみで楽しみで。
And Ayaka snickers in delight. My goodness, Mitsuzuri Ayaka is, to put it mildly, a handful. I'll admit I'm looking forward to winning myself. That goes for both of us.
そう。けど三辻さん、楽しむのは結構だけど、目的を違えないよう気をつけなさい。勝負のな。
分かってるって。登坂より早く登坂が心底羨ましがるような関係にならないと完全勝利とは言えないからね。 私たちにとってはそれが一番厄介な問題なんだが、どんなにいい男だろうと好きになれなきゃ意味がない。
Ayaka sighs heavy. From what I've heard, she's known as a bit of a misandrist. Can't put too much stock in gossip, though. That she made this bet at all means less that she doesn't like boys and more that she hasn't found the right person. That aside,
ちょっと、私たちって何よ、私たちって。断っておきますけど、私はそっちと違って冷血感じゃありません。男の子を好きになるなんて問題でも何でもないわ。
ああ、それ嘘。もしくは気づいていないだけ。遠坂が男を気にかけるなんてことは絶対ないもの。今まで数えきれないぐらい告白されたくせに一つも色良い返事してないじゃない。少しでも興味があるなら付き合おうって思うでしょ。
発想が貧困ね。その場合、すでに好きな相手がいるから断ってるって話もありじゃない？
おお、すっごい美談。いいね、そういうの。ロマンだな。
Ayaka's tone isn't mocking. She nods solemnly. Her side tells me that it would be nice if it were true. I don't believe in myself. I really can't hide anything.
そうね。私もそう思う。
She's right. I know very well how good I am.
認めるわ。私、こと恋愛に関しては素人みたい。
そういうこと。似た者同士だって言ったの遠坂でしょ。ってもうじき7時か。秘密の話はこの辺にしとこう。いつ人がやってくるかわからないし、朝になったら学生らしく振る舞わないとな。
まあ、三辻さんにもそういう世間体があったなんて意外だわ。ええ、これだけでも早起きした甲斐があったみたい。
あんたほど筋金入ってないけどね。私の世間体なんて遠坂凛に比べたら灯籠の斧ってもんよ。あんたの猫っかぶりは擬態っていうより別人格のレベルよ。別人格。
Ayaka sniffs exaggeratedly. I empty the rest of the teacup. She poured me a brew in a new pot. I'm gonna let this run about 10 minutes.
で、遠坂はどうして部活に入らないのよ。運動神経がないなんてされごとは聞かないからね。私は去年の体力測定でことごとくあんたに負けたのまだ恨んでるんだから。
あら、肺活量では三辻さんに負けたわよ、私。あと、体重も三辻さんのが上だったけど。
やったー、重さで3キロ上回ったって、体重で勝っても嬉しくないってのよ、このタヌキ。
Ayaka slaps the table.
危ない。お茶がこぼれるでしょ、三辻さん。首相なんだから道場は大事になさい。
うるさい。私は首相である前に遠坂のライバルだ。部員がいなけりゃあんたに食ってかかるのは当然よ。
Ayaka side-eyes me with a huff. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must walk the martial path. She's always going on about that. Not surprisingly, she's well versed in most martial arts. Kyudo was the discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. She's probably one of the top few people in her school who least want to mess with.
あら、部員がいなければ首相じゃないなんて問題発言じゃないそれ。
問題発言なもんですか。私はお飾りの首相だから、できることって言ったら不良部員を取り締まることだけよ。私以上にしゃがりっぱなやつがいるんだから、首相としての面目なんてないわ。
そうなの？藤村先生、三辻さんは飛び抜けてうまいって言ってたけど。
あの人がそう言うんなら、そりゃ少しは自信が持てるけど、まあいなくなっちまったやつのことなんて考えても仕方ないか。そうね、藤村先生がそう言ってくれたんなら真面目に首相やんないとまずいか。
そうそう、噂をすれば影。そろそろ部員がやってくる頃でしょ。私はおいとま。
何、見ていかないの？シャ。
見てもわからないもの。遠くから眺める分にはいいけどね。 不心得者が道場にいるわけにはいかないでしょ。
Just as I get up to leave, the first club members begin entering the archery range.
おはようございます、師匠。
ああ、おはようマト。今朝は一人？
はい、力になれず申し訳ありません。
ああ、いいっていいって。本人が弓をやらないって言うんなら無理をさせても仕方がない。
Ayako speaks to the fresh club member to arrive.
それじゃあ失礼するわ。また後でね、三辻さん。
ああ、また後でね、登坂。
お疲れ様です、登坂先輩。ありがとう。さくらもしっかりね。
I'm gonna let this run like another 10 or so minutes. You know, just before like the big scene. I think I'll leave the dojo behind so as not to get in the way.
いやあ、登坂。おはよう。朝から君に会えるなんてついてるな。
And oh no, here comes the person I least wanted to see.
おはよう、マト君。今日は早いのね。
当たり前だろ。首相なんだから早めに来ないと一年に示しがつかないじゃないか。
Matu Shinji from Class 2C brings it to me. He's the vice captain of the Kyuden Club and darling of half the girls in school. Mostly thanks to his looks, of course, but he's also admires his good grades, social grace, and being kind of goes, and being an overall heartthrob or something like that. Like it, I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear my classmates say.
そう。ご機嫌なところ悪いんだけど、一文字抜けてるわ、マト君。大事な字だから忘れない方がいいと思うけど。
一文字抜けてるって。
幸福の福。字は違うけど響きは一緒でしょ、副首相さん。気をつけなさい。別に首相も副首相も変わらないけど、変に意識するとこだわってるみたいに聞こえるでしょ。
そうだね。今後は気をつける。ありがとう、登坂。
お礼を言われるようなことはしてないけど、まあマト君がそう思ったのなら私には関係ないか。
With that, I return to leave the range.
ちょっと待てよ。見学に来たんだろ。なら見ていけばいいじゃないか。登坂なら大歓迎だよ。
遠慮するわ。練習の邪魔をしたくないもの。
そんなの構わないよ。他の連中が気に障るんなら締め出すからさ。ちょっと寄っていけって。
だから邪魔をする気はないって言ってるでしょ。それに私別に弓道に興味があるわけじゃないから、知らないやつのシャを見ても嬉しくないわ。
なんだよ登坂。弓道に興味はなかったのか。へえ。だっていうのに放課後になると遠くから見てたのはそういうわけかな。
I don't understand what he's playing up. He seems to seriously
なんだ、
misunderstand.
知ってたの、マト君。
ああ、よく目があったんだぜ。僕と登坂。茶を終えてさ、斬新の時に限って登坂は僕を見ていたろ。声を返したかったけど一応決まりでね。車上では声を上げちゃいけないんだ。
Shinji starts closing it on me, looking pleased with himself. I see the triumphant glint in his eyes competing with that affable
勘
smile.
違いしてたよ。登坂は弓が好きなんだと思ってたけど、弓道には興味がないんだろ。ならなんで登坂は道場を見ていたのかな。
Ah, now I see. Would sound like that, wouldn't it?
離れてくれないかしら、マト君。私あまり人に近寄られるのは好きじゃないし。
なに登坂。
あきれた。趣味じゃないけど仕方ないか。簡単にあなたにも理解できるように言ってあげる。いい、マト君。 私は弓道に興味がない以上にあなたに興味はないって言ってるのよ。実際あなたが車上にいたなんて今初めて知ったぐらいだし、きっとこれからも目に入らないわ。
なんだと。
I must have touched a nerve because he tries to grab me roughly. I twist out of his reach and turn to leave.
それじゃあね、マト君。自意識過剰なのも結構だけど、ほどほど。
遠坂、お前。
Since he sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. The guy is also his style, no substance. If he had even a little backbone, the people around him wouldn't suffer nearly as so much. Oh, okay.
あれ、遠坂さんだ。
Alright then.
おはようございます、藤村先生。
おはよう遠坂さん。ちゃんと挨拶してくれて先生は嬉しいよ。
The strange woman pretends to sob in delight. It may be hard to believe, but this extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman is actually a teacher here.
先生、ちゃんと挨拶をする以外にする挨拶があるのでしょうか。
うん、あるわよ。1年生はちゃんと挨拶してくれるんだけどね、上級生になってくると私の名字で挨拶しないんだから。遠坂さんはああいう輩の真似しちゃダメだからね。
はあ、よくわかりませんけど、先生に失礼なことはしませんが。
よしよし。ああ、みんながみんな遠坂さんみたいだったらいいのにな。
I'm trying to keep this to run less than an hour, so it doesn't corrupt again. With a parting wave and a sea of Miss Fujimoto leaves. Fortunately, she is my homeroom teacher. Fujimoto-sensei teaches English. Her sunny attitude belies her expert rank in Japanese fencing, kendo. In her student days, they called her the Fuyuki Tiger. That's the mystery, though. You'd think someone as a tiger would be feared, not adored, right? Fujimoto-sensei cheerily heads off in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's the faculty president of the Kyuden Club instead of the Kendo Club. It's just before 7:30. I can see students doing their club activities on the school grounds, but there's hardly anyone indoors except...
遠坂。
He always blurts out my name like it did something wrong every time he sees me.
あら、生徒会長。こんな朝早くから校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？どっちでもいいけど相変わらず豆ね、そういうとこ。
そういうお前こそ何を企んでいる。部活動もしていないお前がこんな早くに何の用か。
ただの気まぐれよ。竜斗くんちみたいに早起きじゃないもの、私。
Student Council President's handsome face darkens with suspicion. He seems to have it out for me. I really don't know why. Maybe me seeing temples as a dull pass is what started it.
一つ聞いておくが、最近夜遅くまで校舎にいたことはあるか、遠坂。
ないわね。私が帰宅部だって知ってるでしょ、竜斗くんは。
当然だ。生徒会長を任された以上、全校生徒の情報は把握している。
そう。なら私に聞くまでもないでしょ。なんだってそんなことを聞くか知らないけど、生徒会の仕事を部外者に押し付けちゃまずいんじゃない？情報収集は一人でやりなさいよ。私みたいな部外者に頼らないで。
たわけ、お前のどこが部外者だ。うちの会計の首根っこ掴んで悪さをしたのを知らぬと思ったが、このめぎつれ。
Rude.
あら、人聞きが悪いわね。あれは三辻さんに頼まれて部費の割合を明らかにしただけでしょ。みんなの予算がどこに使われているか調べるなんて生徒として当然の行為だと思うけど。
なんと、うちの会計を1週間休ませた精神的ダメージが当然の行為なのか。とんでもない倫理観をお持ちのようだな、相変わらず。
あなたもね、部下の手綱ぐらいちゃんと握ってなさい。 文化系ばかりひいきするのはフェアじゃないわ。
分かっている。だからこそ俺の手で不正を正したかったのだが。
Oh, right, I voice him. It's fixed, he said. Just then, an unexpected visitor makes his presence
と
known.
悪い。頼んだのはこっちなのに、エミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった。許せ。
Don't worry about it. Where's the next one? We don't have much time.
ああ、次は視聴覚室だ。前から調子が悪かったそうなんだが、この度ついに天寿を全うされた。
If it's completely broken, I can't fix it. Be easier to buy a new one.
そうなんだが、一応見てくれると助かる。俺から見れば臨終だが、お前から見れば仮病かもしれん。
Alright, I'll try. Back in by the other student, the president leaves. I'd stop thinking during the sudden turn of events. The other boy, wrench and screwdriver in hand tights as if he's remembered something. You're early today, Tosaka. He awkwardly mutters. Was that supposed to be a greeting? The president of the student called him you. The student called him you. Walked off into the distance. That would be Emiya Shuru from class 2C. I'd like to point out that in Japanese, the family name comes first and then the person's actual name. So Emiya's the family name, Shuru is his actual name. I'm pointing this out because that's the way I'm reading them.
それはいいんだけどさ。
I think I'm actually going to end. How do I put it? The wrench looked right home in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. Okay, I'm going to end it after this scene because I know it comes after this. At 7:30 a.m., there's somebody else in class from 2A. I take a seat at my desk and flip through my math workbook. There's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I've got time to kill until my classmates start arriving. The classroom is liveliest. Lunch break begins after the fourth period. My school has a cafeteria, so only about half the students stay in the room. It's mostly girls that stay behind. The girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with this easy setup.
遠坂さん、よかったらお昼ご飯一緒に食べませんか？
You girls tend to enjoy our lunch as a group.
ありがとう、三枝さん。けどごめんなさい。私今日は学食なんです。今朝は寝過ごしてしまってお弁当を作る余裕がなかったものですから。そうなんですか。ごめんなさい。そうとも知らず呼び止めてしまって。私余計なことしましたね。
Segusa looks guiltily at her feet. Among the refined, well-behaved students in class A, she's the most demure. For some reason, she's really nice.
余計なことだなんてそんなことはありません。今日はたまたまだから気にしないで。また明日これに懲りず声をかけてください。
I'll let her down as gently as I can and offer a genuine smile.
はい。でも遠坂さんでも寝過ごすことがあるんですね。
Perhaps my smile made her feel better. Segusa turns back to her table, looking relieved. She's adorable. Oh God, Segusa laughing. Segusa Yukika is a drop-dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone around her at ease.
そうなんです。なんとかごまかしてますけど、本当は寝ぼすけなんですよ、私。部活だって朝起きられないから入ってないんです。
Segusa somehow maintains an elegant air even when startled. Watching her reactions is always so calming, but that doesn't mean I have time to just stand here and talk. If I keep up a conversation with someone so disarming, the real me is bound to show herself.
それじゃあ食堂に行ってきます。三枝さんもごゆっくり。はい、遠坂さんも。
Segusa and I exchange some graceful greetings and she returns to her friends. I see that she's eating with Makidera K's and Himoto Kane. Kane? Alright, wasn't Segusa the track and field club manager? Makidera and Himoto are the track and field club's rising stars. Makidera is a bad influence with whom I go window shopping on days off. Window look. I don't remember too well.
売られたね、ゆきっち。だから言ったでしょ。遠坂は弁当持ってこないって。釣りたかったらあいつの分も飯用意しないとね。
Sorry.
マキ、
それは私たちも食堂に移動すればいいだけの話では。
Brash and reserved.
ダメダメ、食堂は狭いんだから。弁当組が座れるスペースなんてねっての。それに遠坂と同席してみなさい。男どもの視線がうざいのなんの。前の休みだってさ、二人で遊びに行ったのにあいつだけ得しちゃってさ。やだよね、美人を鼻にかけた優等生は。
Macadera takes hold of Segusa's desk as she continues to rank about me. Despite her foul mouth, she actually wears a kimono really well, like a picturesque Japanese beauty.
牧野氏、君の陰口は遠坂城に聞こえているようだが。
Meanwhile, Hibudo's cool and solid demeanor are a complete foil to that of Macadera.
やべ、遠坂に聞かれた。ゲゲ、めっちゃ睨んでるじゃん、あいつ。別に遠坂睨んでんだよ、あれ。あいつは笑ってる時が一番怖いんだから。
Kate
なん
Macadera.
だよ、いいじゃんか愚痴ぐらい。多めに見ろよ。私と遠坂の仲だろ。たい焼きおごってやっただろ。
Kate Macadera puffs her cheeks out, waving her disposable chopsticks in the air. Would you believe that her hobby is collecting wind chimes? The world works in strange ways. At any rate, it's rude to Segusa to stare at the three of them and caught between me and the foul-mouthed Macadera. Segusa looks like she doesn't know what to do with
気
herself.
にしないでいいのよ、三枝さん。それと牧寺さん、おごらされたのは私で、品物はたい焼きではなくクレープでした。無意識に事実を改ざんする悪癖、次あたりに直さないと考えますよ。マジ怖え、あの笑顔。
Macadera holds up her large box like some kind of shield. I bid the auctioneer farewell and leave the classroom. I slide the door closed.
なんだよ、大差ないじゃんか、たい焼きもクレープも。どっちも甘いの皮で包んでるんだからさ。
Macadera utters something blasphemous for me.
たい焼きとクレープが同じですって。
Truly a revelation worth Abraham. Is she even human or all the search center? If I'd known that her taste buds can't distinguish fluorous 500 yen very from 80-year-old 80 yen taiyaki at Edomaya. Damn you, Macadera Gate. I could have saved 420 yen.
何本気で悔しがってるんだ私。
I must still be tired from last night. The cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof. Okay, I think this lunch scene's gonna be the last bit actually, because I don't want this running longer than an hour. I purchased my lunch and head to the unoccupied roof, though it's different in the summertime. During the winter, the roof is a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. It's too cold to hang out here during
さて、
lunch.
とりあえずご飯と。
I indulge in the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I bought from the cafeteria. A hoagie. Just get a hoagie. It's a simple lunch made all the more delicious by the fact that I can enjoy it up here in peace. I finish the sandwich and sip on the warm, lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible. As the saying goes, what should be accomplished at both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride, no conviction, that I'd be the top student of school. I decided that if I was going to be a student, then it would be the very best. I don't want people looking down on the Tohsaka name. There we go, finally did it. That's how Tohsaka Rin came to be the perfect, flawless student. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous for citizens associated too much with normal people. When a mage is discovered by the public, she has no choice but to eliminate witnesses to protect us. I'd rather not resort to that. That's why I keep my social interactions purely superficial out of necessity. I only hang out with Macadera on my days off, and I turn down invitations from more sociable people like Segusa. It's difficult walking a tightrope of being the #1 student at school. I'll make sure I don't become anyone else's #1. And sure, there are times when it tires me out and I feel like life is a real trek.
もう時間か。
I finish the hot lemon drink and stand up. That's enough sentimentality. Time to go back downstairs and become Tohsaka Rin again. Nah, we're gonna skip right to the end of the school day.
ではホームルームを終了する。日直は日誌と戸締まりの確認を、部活動のない生徒は速やかに帰宅するように。
Class 2A's teacher gives his usual spiel and leaves the room. As far as I know, he said it exactly the same way out here.
遠坂、今日はもうお帰り？
ええ、朝方麻藤君と一見あったし、面倒になる前に帰るわ。
やっぱりそうか。麻藤のやつ、今朝は特に荒れてたからさ。遠坂に手ひどく扱われたんだろうなって思ってた。
そう、迷惑をかけてしまったかしら、三辻さん。
別に麻藤が下級生をいびるのはいつものことだし、あれはあれでいい精神鍛錬になるよ。
そう、よかった。じゃあこの埋め合わせはまた今度。
はいはい、これに懲りずまた寄っていってちょうだい。
Alright, I think I'm gonna end this one here. I make my way home without taking any detours. My name is Tohsaka Rin. Tohsaka Rin, the honor student, ends once I leave the school. Next half of the day is reserved for the other meeting. I have to become a maid to the Tohsaka. Alright, I'm gonna end this one here, just so it exports properly, and I'm gonna pick up with the next parts later today. Alright? Alright. See ya then. Goodbye.